Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of NerdSpice, a podcast specially handcrafted to add some flavor to your pop culture consumption. I am your resident Gryffindor, Saya. You can find me at Saya J_Andre on Twitter. I am also here with.
Hi, everybody. My name is Oscar. I am a Ravenclaw, the best type of house
That's
in
what I'm
Hogwarts.
talking about.
You can find me on Twitter at OPIMI1.
And we're also here with
J Molly Mall, J_Molly Mall on Twitter. Follow me. Don't unfollow me after you follow me.
And you said your house.
Also, my house is Ravenclaw, of course. That's really the only house
That matters.
that's in existence.
It's really not.
You can be a Griffin or whatever you want, but them Ravenclaws are going to come for you. Anyway.
They barely focused on y'all in the first series.
That's fine. It's all right. We didn't need focus because you already know what was up.
Because we don't get in trouble.
We don't get in trouble. Y'all Gryffindors and Slytherin stay fighting.
Okay. But we were the focal point of the story. And it's fitting
The focal point of this shit.
It's fitting that I'm the only Gryffindor, considering the Gryffindor symbol. Was it a lion?
It
a lion?
Yeah, it's a lion.
It was weird because at first I thought it'd be like a griffin.
No.
But then it's like, no, it's a lion. But I'm also a Leo.
You know what the symbol for Ravenclaw is?
A raven.
It's an eagle.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not a raven.
But I'm saying it's
J.K.
fitting.
Rowling is dumb.
But I'm saying it's fitting because I'm a Gryffindor with 2 Ravenclaws, but I'm also a Leo with 2 Aquariuses. So either way, I'm not going to win in this situation.
Okay, special you. Let's go.
I also want to point out that Johnny Depp is at the top of his cast list, and I don't think he deserves to be there.
We'll talk about that. But
Okay, you have a secret meeting. Oh, we already had that plan.
But yes, this is a brand new episode. In this episode, we're going to be covering The Crimes of Grindelwald, which is part 2 of a proposed 5-part franchise called Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which is a spin-off of the Harry Potter franchise. And if you didn't know that there were going to be 5 movies, well, now you know. So we're here to do that. But before we do that, I think it's only fitting that we at least touch on a little bit about the passing of Stan Lee, which happened on the Tuesday of the last week. It'll probably be like a week when the episode comes out.
Really sad. He did a lot, or him and his co-founder. He did a lot. What was his co-founder's name again?
Well, there were a lot of co-founders. Jack Kirby, who was responsible for things like Fourth World for DC.
Right.
Yeah. He did a lot of stuff for Marvel as well. As well as Steve Ditko. He was also an important creator.
Yeah.
Stan was primarily like Hulk and Spider-Man and Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four, yeah.
Thanks, Stan, for all the nerd content. Appreciate you. Peace out to a better life. That's all I really have to say about it. I mean, I respect him deeply for giving us his content. Or all the people involved, he was a good main figure and a good keystone, but it's sad that he has. But he lived a long life, 95.
He did live a long life.
Decent life.
And
he will be missed.
He will be missed. Even though it's like sad now, he did live a long life, 1. And 2, his wife passed like maybe a year or 2 years beforehand. And not saying like anything bad as far as like, we were waiting on him to like pass or anything. Of course not. But normally, sometimes couples do pass like one after another. So we were kind of trying to figure out what was going on, if he was still okay. He was dealing with so much drama behind the scenes with him being sick and also his caretakers and everything like that. And so it was a little rough, I guess, for him. But like we said, he did live a long life. He gave us a lot of important characters that a lot of people have clung to since like childhood, and even if they encounter them in like later in life and stuff like that. He lived a really long life and he inspired a lot of people.
And his legacy will live on.
Exactly. Literally. And without him, we probably wouldn't even be here. Or the podcast wouldn't be what it is without his influence as well.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to give a shout out to that. And Stan, you will be missed. We wanted to go ahead and get into the review section for Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. I guess before we get into it...
You know who's a beast?
Who?
J.K. Rowling.
She writes
not a good beast, though. She writes too little. Wow.
Is she not the GOAT?
No.
Oh my God.
She's not even the G.
This will be a spoiler-filled review, by the way, so if you haven't seen the movie Fantastic Beasts or Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald, and you don't want to get spoiled because there will be major spoilers up ahead, please be warned. Don't blame us for not keeping the secret. We told you ahead of time, so...
Part of me
Dang!
Yeah.
Because people
get the fuck out. You can't stay here.
Honestly, people get upset when you get spoiled, and I get upset too when I get spoiled. So, and there's a lot of twists and turns.
But anyway, let's go over our expectations for the movie. Like before we even get into what the movie was about and all that. What were you two expecting? How are you feeling after the first movie came out? Things of that nature.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I barely remembered anything from the first movie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. I don't know how long it's been exactly.
It's been like 2 years.
That's bad. If I don't remember.
That's it. Yeah, like I remember movies.
I remember movies I've seen 6-10 years ago, and most of it's probably due to repetition. But something like Upgrade, we only saw that once, but I can remember a lot from it.
Exactly.
You know.
Oh dang! We just worked Upgrade into it.
Yeah.
Isn't that the goal? We're gonna talk about Upgrade.
I forgot about that. Like you just seamlessly put that in the episode. Wow.
And I did it unintentionally. I wasn't even trying to. That wasn't our goal to put in. But anyway, Upgrade. I remember everything about that movie. But like,
oh my god,
like advertising very slightly for it. I want a stipend anyway. But like with Fantastic Beasts, I do remember liking it.
Yeah.
I remember it was fun. The animals were cute. I like Newt. I like him as an actor. He's real like quirky, and I like quirkiness and weird. I like weirdness. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember nothing. Like what was even going on? Stuff was flying around, and I was like, "Oh my god, wizards!" But I guess I was already detached from J.K. Rowling as soon as around Deathly Hallows is when I was getting tired of her and her little. Pop releases on Twitter. But
are you talking about the book or the movie?
Her in general. And her reuse of content. And y'all know how I feel about people reusing content all the time. Or milking it, rather than exercising your creative juice. But with Fantastic Beasts, that's all I got from the first one. Like, I don't remember the first one like that. So going into this one, I was hoping it would leave me with a more memorable experience. I was going to go back and watch the first one, but I'm busy as hell. So I could not get to it. And... yeah, so, I mean, I didn't really go in with high expectations, but I didn't go in with low ones either. I expected to be entertained.
Yeah.
For me, I'm kind of with Jamal on this, that I forgot everything about Fantastic Beasts. I think it's like a decent movie, but like a lot of Marvel movies, it is forgettable. And it's like, it's good, it's fine when you're watching it, but I watched it last night just to get myself reacquainted with what's going on, and I didn't realize a lot happened. I was like, this happened? Like, what? They showed this? What is going on? You know, it's insane how much you forget. And I don't know. There was this YouTube video I watched on forgettable movies and why they're forgettable. It's by this guy named Kristen. I'm going to butcher his last name, but anyway. He basically talked about how movies are forgettable because of like music, cinematography, and the ending. And I felt like this was an issue I had with the first movie. There wasn't like a good score. They just reused Hedwig's theme a few times, and
well, I mean, you have to but
it's
like Mariah Carey and Christmas.
Like, they don't come out with anything new.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, create another Hedwig bop. Like, yeah, Hedwig was a bop. Yeah, sure. Can you do it again?
Can you make another?
Can you do it again? Can you make another bop?
You
can even use Hedwig's as a base,
as a baseline.
A derivative.
Yeah. I felt like Fantastic Beasts 1 was kind of forgettable, and my expectations for number 2, I don't know, I didn't expect it to be that heavy. When they announced it was going to be Crimes of Grindelwald, I was like, okay, so this is basically going to be a Harry Potter prequel, because I kept thinking that this Fantastic Beasts series in general was just going to be like a small, non-associated series that wasn't going to connect to the overall Harry Potter universe.
Okay.
But now we're focusing so heavily on Dumbledore and Grindelwald and Hogwarts. And it's like, why even name it Fantastic Beasts? Why not just say Crimes of Grindelwald and not even include Newt? Because, and we'll get into this later, but I think that Newt he's a good character, but he's not like a good focus for an entire 5-movie series.
Is he the main guy or not? Like, make up your mind, JK.
As far as we know,
yeah, like
now he's the main focus of it.
Because like the entire premise of this is that Newt ends up being the author of a book named Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and that book is the textbook that students use in Hogwarts. And it's like, okay, that's cute. Maybe we'll go through his stories.
What were you doing in this movie besides the love affair?
Exactly.
Nothing else, Matt. He wasn't.
He wasn't relevant. And for some reason, Dumbledore goes to him to say that you have to be the one to move against.
Well, that's because of they can't fight.
But why did Dumbledore go to Grindelwald? I mean, not Newt specifically.
Because he has this weird quink because he's in the neutral zone. But if you're going to be in the neutral zone
because he knows credence, I guess.
Well, no, because of how he looks at situations. He said because of how he sees situations.
Because he's a libertarian.
So yeah, and basically, I mean, he's a libertarian, and like Dumbledore said, he's Aang. He's the Avatar, all right?
But he's not giving me Avatar.
He's trying to bring the world, the spirit
world.
He's
giving me Cabbage Man and in his own movies.
He's supposed to bring the spirit world and the human physical bending world together.
I don't know what universe you're in, sir. that was a wild tangent.
But okay, look, I'm just trying to bring it down into like an analogy, like because that's how Dumbledore saw him. But I don't see it. I like him, and he's really cool, and he does bring things down to a level that nobody else can. But he doesn't give me that whole protagonist feel.
This is just going off the premise of what you've seen from like the second movie in terms of like trailers.
And nobody tell you to make 5.
No, I'm saying this is what you're getting from like seeing those trailers and understanding what the second movie was
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I get what y'all are saying. I guess for me, at least, I remember the first movie, but only because the plot wasn't too complicated, where it was kind of forgettable. I know that sounds really weird, but like I understood that the main plot of the first movie was Newt going to New York to find this magical beast, and while he's there, he gets entangled in this situation with the boy Credence, who's an Obscurus, and they have to like solve that issue as well. And then Grindelwald's also like mixed into it. That's like a brief understanding of the first one. So like, I was going to rewatch the first one, but at the same time, I didn't feel like I really had to because I knew enough going into the second movie. I knew that this is pretty much just going to follow Grindelwald and get more into the backstory.
He wasn't prepared previously on.
I mean, it was
fantastic bit.
So what they should have like an opening crawl or something.
Yeah, just do like Star Wars. Just do like a recap and like
jump into the little the pensive, whatever it is they used in the sixth. When they jump into the memories and it's like, what have you been up to, Newt? Well, come join me on my magical adventure through my memories.
Remember Newt said he wasn't going to choose sides and he's the fact of the neutral one? That's like Aang saying, okay, I'm choosing the spirit world. He chose the spirit world at the end of this movie. Well, not the spirit world, he chose the human world. But like he chose his side, I guess. Well, I guess that's because, he lost everything.
Why don't we go over a brief summary of what this movie was about then?
Okay, if you can cover that, because I don't even know. Half of these plot lines.
Don't tell them that. We're supposed to do a whole
okay. Love triangle. Triangle girl happens to be related to something.
It wasn't always a love triangle.
Everybody meet in the graveyard. Blast. Fire circle. Boom. That's the movie.
Just how you explain it, because Jamal.
That was great.
That's a very pessimistic view of what this movie was.
Well, I have pessimistic
There was
views.
stuff in. So the general understanding of the Crimes of Grindelwald is Grindelwald's here. Obviously, he escapes from jail, and so now Dumbledore is instructing Newt with being the one to go after him. And before we understand later in the movie why Dumbledore didn't go after him, we were kind of questioning why Newt had to be the one to do it. We have that. So we're like, why is Newt the one to have to go after Grindelwald? Why can't somebody else actually do it?
His spell count is high. That nigga be popping out spells.
No, I
think he be like
he went to Hogwarts.
That's fine. Harry Potter went to Hogwarts.
Harry Potter was a terrible student. Ron was a terrible student.
That's not my problem. Hermione,
she was a great student.
She was a great student, but he's shitting on her with the amount of spells
she was 17 when she did all that shit she did.
I'm telling you. Anyway,
okay. Let's go back to Wait. I just want to mention that like a part about Grindelwald escaping and stuff was he was looking for Credence, who apparently survived from the first movie,
right?
The Fantastic Beasts. And I think Dumbledore wanted to send Newt to get Credence before Grindelwald got to Credence.
Ultimately, he told him you have to face Grindelwald eventually.
Yeah.
Like, that was the whole point of it.
Yeah.
And so that was one plot. There was another plot that focused on Credence, trying to understand who he was. Obviously, he's alive in this movie. He also runs into Nagini, which should be a familiar name to...
You're dumb.
Nagini should be a familiar name to Harry Potter fans. She is a Maledictus, or a Maledictus, I think.
Maledictus?
Yeah, a Maledictus, who is a woman who has like a blood curse and she turns into a creature. So Nagini turns into a snake, and obviously that is the snake that is entangled in Voldemort's story.
Yeah, so
in the Harry Potter series.
The blood curse is different from being an animagus where you can switch back and forth at will. This blood curse is more of eventually you just become the creature that you are and you become trapped in that state, which is what we see Nagini as later on in the Harry Potter films. She's just trapped in snake form later on. And
so Nagini pretty much serves in the movie as like an accomplice to Credence, just following him around. Stop it. Just following him around, trying to help him like understand who he is and all that. The other plot centered around Queenie and pretty much how she wanted to marry Jacob, but with him being a nomad or a muggle, however you choose, you know, she couldn't deal with it. And so she was pretty much just trying to figure out how she could survive in a world if she were to like pursue a marriage with him. I think that was another plot. Even though that wasn't a huge plot, like it ultimately wove itself towards the end with everything else.
I really like that.
People like Queenie.
Yeah.
I really like that plot point because it's like what Grindelwald was saying was he was like, this is a freedom for wizards to do what we want. And like technically he's like, if us as wizards can do whatever we want, we can marry muggles if we wanted to. And that's what Queenie fell in love with, was that idea of that freedom that they can marry muggles and stuff. Yeah. But it's still, there's that underlying tone of like racism that all the other purebloods have against muggles and muggleborns and all that. But I like the way they approached Queenie with that it wasn't power and it wasn't greed. It was just, she wants to marry this.
She wanted to do it for love.
Yeah, this nomad.
She Anakin.
Stop it. And then there was, and then the other plot that I can remember is the one with Newt and Jacob and Tina. And they were ultimately in charge of solving the case with Grindelwald and Credence.
I think Jacob was just like looking for Queenie and Newt was looking for Tina and Tina was looking for Credence. So eventually Newt was also looking for Credence. I don't think Newt really cared about Dumbledore's mission. I mean,
ultimately he did because Dumbledore was like, you know, you have to go after Credence, and if you're going after Credence and Grindelwald is going after Credence, like ultimately you're still still working on Dumbledore's mission. Yeah. Even with that.
Dumbledore's the puppet master behind everything. like in the Harry Potter films, he was just, you know.
He was more annoying in that series though. he will always tell Harry, you gotta do this, Harry, you gotta do that. And it's
Harry's
like, but why? But then in this one it's like, Newt, I need you to do this. And we're like, well, we're used to you like telling people to do stuff without explaining things. But in this one, it was easier to manage because it's like, well, you're younger, I guess. I don't know if that has something going for you.
I don't know.
He was just an old man in the first one. So it was like, why is this old man telling all these kids to risk their life?
Go die for me. Go die for me for the blood of your people.
Prove your loyalty.
Prove yourself, Harry.
So how did you guys feel about the plot of the movie overall? Like, do you feel it was too much? Do you feel they didn't really balance out plots overall?
The side plots and the little side quests were all relationship based for the most part.
It just felt so weird.
The main plot, it was pretty I mean, it was a main plot. I like what's his face? Grindelwald.
Yeah.
Grindelwald.
Yeah.
I love him. Like Johnny Depp, I don't know, but Grindelwald as a villain is really good. I like
really nice
his
fashion
little mover.
sense.
Oh my gosh. In them drapes over the city. I can't get over it. I don't get it.
What kind of party announcement is this? Come to my party, draped over the city. Follow your drapes.
When Newt went into Batman detective mode at that one scene.
Oh, and that's when he threw the dust everywhere.
He did more spells in that one sequence than the whole Harry Potter
Harry Potter
series.
Harry was just Expelliarmus.
He knew 3 spells. What? Inspector Patronum? He barely learned Avada. Barely. But the main plot though, it was alright.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was alright. I did not like how it ended though.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
But that's also because of my personal grievances.
Yeah. In my opinion, the plot was very, like, I would have rather just focused on Grindelwald because he was the most interesting part of the movie.
Exactly.
The way he was maneuvering stuff. But then the thing with like Newt and Jacob and Queenie and all, I was bored. Like, why did Jacob and Queenie go to London in the first place? Why?
Why were they in a house?
Yeah, because like I guess they were announcing that they were getting married.
Wait, why did they come to London?
Because they were getting married and like they wanted to tell him and they're like, come to our wedding. And the whole issue that I have with their relationship is that Newt and Jacob knew each other. Like the course of Fantastic Beasts 1 takes place over like a day, maybe 2 days. And they're acting like they're the best friends in the entire universe.
That was very absent in this movie.
And Jacob was like, we can go back just like the old days. And I'm like, what? 2 Saturdays? Like, what is this?
It was like a couple months.
No, it was 2, like
it was like a weekend.
Yeah, like Fantastic Beasts 1 was just one long weekend, and then they didn't see each other for a long time. And then Jacob is like best friends or whatever.
I would think he would have kept in contact.
With Tina, he said, but not with Jacob, because he was like, when Jacob walked in, he was like, oh, you can remember stuff now? And he's like, yeah, remember when you obliviate, you only obliviate bad memories, but I never had bad memories with you guys. And I was like, because you were bit by this mole rat, you know, you were drunk the whole time. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent about the first movie. Yeah, the plot of the second movie, I don't know how Newt really fit into it very well. And I will say I loved Lestrange. What was her name? Lita Lestrange.
She was beautiful.
I loved her.
She was beautiful. She had the sass.
She had the sadness.
She also said, give me out this contract because I don't like J.K. Rowling's writing. So y'all can kill me off if y'all want it.
The director was like, wait, you don't die in this scene. She's like, yes, I do. I do know.
Yo. That's funny.
All right, what about you, Josiah? How did you feel about the plot and just the story overall?
I think the plots were fine. It's not that they didn't really mesh well together. I feel like there was a little bit of an imbalance. Going from Credence and then going back to Newt and all that, and then going to Queenie. Like, I knew what they were trying to do. Like, you know, we see it all the time in movies and books and all that.
Yeah.
But parts of it felt long and other parts of it felt short. And then once they started getting into the third act, it felt like it was being dragged out a little bit.
One of the issues I had with the first movie was there was this huge tonal shift between, like, Credence's story where he was this sad orphan being beat and he was being emotionally manipulated by Grindelwald.
Was he being beat?
Yeah, he was being beat by his quote-unquote mom. And then we switch immediately to, like, Newt, who's trying to lure in this rhino hippo monster by doing a mating call. And it was just, the tonal shift really knocked me out in the first movie. And I think in this movie, they do a better job of kind of keeping it more balanced, like keeping it more level, where you can get that connection from one scene to another and you don't feel like you're watching 2 different movies.
Well, everyone was going through so much crap. Like,
I know.
Queenie, when you think about it, Queenie was trying to get married, but she couldn't. Newt and them had to find Credence because they didn't want Credence to be used by Grindelwald. Credence didn't understand who he was. He was trying to figure out his parentage and his history and all that. Everybody was just going through the ringer in this movie.
And Strange, she throwing babies? She's switching babies?
That was so sad.
Why are we switching babies?
Wait a minute.
I think that was a last minute decision on J.K. Rowling's part. That was a little sloppy. That was a little sloppy to me.
That's a whole,
yeah, that was kind of sloppy.
Because what? Girl. Like, you could come a little more intricate plot than that.
But
like,
that Bogart...
she switched babies because I just wanted quiet. Shut up.
No.
What? You switched your whole brother in chaos?
I wouldn't even have switched the baby. I would have just put both babies right there.
Ooh, and someone would have had to make the decision to...
Why would you switch? Even as a child.
Because it's a loud-ass baby. I want to get another one. You know, maybe as a child, you don't really understand cause and effect that well. And plus, she was being raised by this father who didn't love her, who probably ignored her and abandoned her. So she was probably like, she didn't understand that kind of emotional connection that you would have to a baby. So it's like, I can just switch them out. They're the same thing. And this one's quieter.
Did we have any positives before we jump into any like negatives and all that?
Lita is strange.
I love
You did say you love
Lita.
Lita.
Yeah.
So that was a positive.
I loved Grindelwald. I mean, Johnny Depp is...
No.
He's
I'm
problematic.
sorry, but Lita is strange for switching the babies.
Okay, you're dumb, but... I did like Grindelwald. I liked his French companion woman lady.
We didn't even get her name.
We didn't even get her name. But she looked great.
Remember
doing
when she
it.
was doing bad, walking through the fire? Remember she walked through the fire?
Exactly. She walked through the fire like, oh, was this supposed to hurt? Like
she did what Voldemort couldn't do.
Stop.
She killed that baby.
Oh, she really did. I don't even know if that was her. I thought that was another woman.
Y'all, did y'all see that
No, it was
baby's
her.
face?
What, when he died?
Y'all know that baby covered in peanut butter on the vine? That was that baby. He was like,
that baby was like,
what's good?
That baby was like,
Every time I talk on the internet, you want to act big, but when I come through, you don't want to post up.
that baby looked at her like goo goo gaga, and she was like Avada Kedavra. Like,
Oh!
she,
Josiah.
You were canceled, blocked.
Avada Kedavra.
You're ugly.
Wow.
She killed that whole baby. I was like, dang, she actually did it.
Damn.
Well, we don't know. We don't know what she did with it. We didn't see it.
You
There
saw
was
the
a
green
green
flash.
I
light.
saw the green flash, but she could have missed it on purpose.
Actually, I want to talk about that. Like,
Uh-uh.
in the first Fantastic Beasts, and this is an issue I've had since, like, the Deathly Hallows, is all the spells are just white, except for Avada Kedavra, which is green. But, like, every spell we see nowadays is just white little bursts that are like, psh, psh, and we're supposed to know what they are.
So you think spells should have
Production
colors?
costs.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, in the earlier movies, they had a little bit more colors, and I remember some of them were red, some of them were green, you know, and remember when Harry joined wands with Voldemort, and they did the green and the red.
I wonder how they would differentiate that, though. Because in my thinking, it would be like charms are red, you know, the 3 unforgivable spells are like green or something.
They had some of that in the other movies. Like, some of them were purple and kind of blue. There were colors and there were differences, but
So
in
you're
this, it
saying
was
all
just
of these are like white.
Yeah,
white.
they're all just white.
Well, they're
blasts.
doing like little like spell blasts or like I want to say conjurings or something like that. But like I did like when he was doing his detective crap. All that was yellow.
That was fun.
One thing I do like about the series in general, the magic is more subtle, and they treat it in a way where it's like they assume that you've seen the Harry Potter movies, so it's not like we have to teach you. Oh, they're doing magic. It's like you know what it is.
Yeah,
they're just doing it. Like when they apparate.
Yeah, or
it
like
took
when they
forever.
float books and stuff like that. You're just
it's like, oh, we already know.
It took
I
forever.
know you can do weird stuff, but I'm not going to question how you're not doing it without a wand or not saying anything.
Like
that's all right.
It took forever for Harry and them to learn how to like apparate and disapparate and all that.
Yeah, and these people are doing
but
that.
these people are like, okay, we just gone.
They popping, following each other. I smell your apparate trail.
It was like a
Dumbledore
jumper.
left. He was like, nah. It's like
also, their magic seems so much stronger, which is weird because they're like 70 years in the future.
Yeah, that's also what I was.
Because they're also like
one of my
mature and
points.
enhanced.
Yeah,
that was
they're
one
adults.
of my points. Like, remember when they were
focused
getting in, like, when he was doing the horse carriage or the bird carriage or whatever it was, and the doors locked and stuff like that? We see nothing that intricate in Harry Potter, like that to that level of detail.
Say, like in the first movie when they unlocked the door where the
but it wasn't like that. Like I know we've gotten better with graphics and stuff like that, but just that. There's more creativity with these spells than there was in Harry Potter.
Yeah,
I'm way more interested in the spell, makeup of this Fantastic Beasts universe than I am with Harry Potter.
Because Harry Potter was just like Expelliarmus.
Yeah, they had set spells and like it was like a Disney movie setup. Like, oh my god, I'm working on the spell. It's really hard, and then at the end he gets it. And then Inspector Patronum, he couldn't get it for nothing. But if he screams it really loud at the end.
We're not going to talk about Harry Potter.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm giving you a reference. So.
Do we have any more positives?
I think I love the opening sequence with Grindelwald.
Yeah, that was great.
And the Thestral. I love that sequence.
He was real snippy with the wand in that wand play. He
was getting intense. I got scared.
He wasn't even worried. He was just like.
He just went squeak, 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 squeak.
I know y'all can't see me, but I was being real suave.
Yeah, and the dudes in the broomsticks, they're like, "Oh shit, I'm dead now." And he threw that guy's wand, and he said,
lightning manipulation.
That was
is
crazy.
he Azula now?
Yes.
Stop it.
I've never.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
say yes.
It was just.
I was
really hoping. Yeah, I remember I was watching Harry Potter. Y'all were hoping for a little Dumbledore action.
Well, like
with him just
him doing spells and shit.
Yeah, like
just
we got that in the Order of the
we,
Phoenix.
Yeah, we did get it, but remember when you always wanted to see it? That's how I feel about this Dumbledore too. They're giving me that same energy. I want to see him fight.
You're gonna see it.
They're keeping Dumbledore back.
Don't do that.
It's gonna be the finale.
It's gonna be the finale.
I'm gonna be excited when it happens, but best believe I'm complaining.
At the rate we're going, the fifth one, I'm not even. No, never mind. Keep going.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, because you're gonna be tired.
No, go ahead.
We're gonna be like 40 years old.
No, at the rate we're going, the fifth one won't even be out till like 2024.
Yeah. 2024. That sounds too.
That
sounds very close.
It takes every 2 years for these movies to come out. The last one was 2016, 18, 20, 22, 24.
Okay,
we'll be 29.
Anyway,
but yeah,
that was some post.
But yeah, so at the rate we're going, these movies are going to be coming out pretty soon.
Negatives.
You want to get into negatives?
You want to get into the negatives?
Yes.
I think all my positives are cleared up. Like,
yeah, I like the magic. I like Grindelwald.
I like the magic. I like Grindelwald. I just like the
I like the imagery.
I like the world building in general.
Yeah,
the imagery was real good.
I feel like this franchise is much easier to get into too.
I love his fucking suitcase.
Yeah.
I love his suitcase.
It's a classic, but you can't fit shit into it. You can fit like 2 books, and that's it.
The Beasts are great. The Niffler came back. That was awesome.
Yeah, I was worried. Like the first movie kind of took me out with too many CGI beasts. Like I get it, you're trying to show off, and
I don't think so. I wanted more in this.
No, like in some cases, it was a nice I'm good with the amount of beasts. I'm just saying, like you could have used some more practical effects because, like in the first movie, they had a practical effect with the dragon. You know, the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. They had the little dragon that was a puppet that went wow, and I would have liked to see that. The one Norbert that Hagrid hatched. Remember?
It's been a while since I've seen it.
And it was a little baby dragon, and he spit fire into Hagrid's beard.
I know what you're talking about, though.
I would have loved to see some practical effects like that, but the CGI isn't bad. It's pretty good, and the creatures are pretty well designed, and they were interesting.
Yeah.
In this movie, we kind of just saw like 2 creatures that were the focus, which were like the Nifflers and what was it? That lizard that was called... The
fast lizard with the tail.
What's his name? Antonio? I was like, that's the first Hispanic character in this Harry Potter... in the entire Harry Potter universe. And he threw it out the carriage.
Well, you never know. Hermione might be Hispanic.
Hermione's 3/5 Hispanic. She's actually Chilean.
Get J.K. Rowling out of here.
She's Chilean and she studied Mandarin in school. But yeah, let's jump into some negatives. I don't have that many negatives, but I feel like the ones I do have are like really weighty.
My biggest one was the end. See, okay. I was telling him about my want for creativity out of the artists that create stuff for us.
Yeah.
So like when J.K. Rowling, like she has been milking Harry Potter. How old were we when the first Harry Potter came out?
The first one came out like
2001.
Was it 2001?
The first
movie, and then the last.
The last one was like 2011.
Harry Potter movie release.
It was like 2001.
I think it was 2001.
Or 99, like either or. Oh, it was 2001.
Look at
2001 to now. 17 years. 17 years of the same content from the largest or her largest universe.
Okay, it's not consistent. Yeah. We did have a break between 2011 and 2016. So like 10 years.
All right. But like
she's been doing Pottermore. She's been doing
Pottermore was trash.
Cursed Child.
It was. I was excited for it, but it was trash. Don't deny it.
The Cursed Child play that she didn't write, but she approved, quote unquote, the play.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, okay, I get it. Harry Potter is the cash cow. It's great. It's awesome. It's like Transformers and all the other stuff, but it's just a bigger call of this industry. Like, I would like newer content.
I don't think they're overusing it though.
Overusing what? Harry Potter?
Yeah, in terms of like Transformers.
Transformers is definitely overusing them.
Yeah,
themselves.
Because we did have a break between
the
Harry
break
Potter
doesn't
and
deny that they're still using the same content though. You can take as many breaks as you want, but if you keep revisiting or coming back to it, I'm going to get mad. But the main reason why I'm saying all this is because of the Dumbledore drop at the end.
Yeah,
like so Credence is a Dumbledore.
Apparently,
it's not confirmed.
I haven't seen a receipt, but
I need to see a birth certificate.
He's a Dumbledore, and I just think I was telling them I thought she could have introduced a new villain. I mean, this is just my basic. You could have introduced a new villain, what did Oscar say? A line of lineage. A lineage of villains.
Like, can you come up with something else?
Can you come up with something else?
A whole new syndicate, something, It doesn't even have to be related to the Harry Potter universe. It could make some little gestures here and there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be directly. Why does it have to be Dumbledore? It might have been a Potter or something, or you might have found some way to make it Harry's dad. Or you
just said, can't you just make it not connected to Harry Potter, but also you could have made it his father or something?
No, I wasn't saying that she should do it. It was like, that's what she's been doing. She's been pulling crap out, and I was just, I like the universe. I love the Harry Potter universe, but it's so vast that you should be able to come up with literally anything else. You know? So that's all I was saying. That's just a personal grievance of mine. Like, I just want you to be creative, girl. Yeah, but take your shot. Shoot your shot.
That's like the same argument people had with The Last Jedi, which is like, oh, they built up this mystery of Rey. I think they're like in opposites, where in Star Wars, they built up Rey's parentage as a mystery that we need to solve. Right. And at the end of the day, it was nobody. So it was a big letdown. Here, we weren't even thinking about Credence. We thought he was dead after the first movie. And in the second movie, apparently he's looking for his parents, which is like, why is that even relevant to who you are? Yeah. And I think Nagini said that. It's like, he might know who you were born from, but he doesn't know who you are. So it's like, why do we care about his parentage other than just a name drop and for you to think, oh, he comes from a powerful wizarding family?
Just because his last name's Dumbledore, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
That might not even be Dumbledore's sibling. It might be his cousin. I don't know. I don't know how the Dumbledore lineage.
It's just the scalability. Like, when you ask any Harry Potter fan, ooh, name some of the most powerful wizards out there. The Dumbledore family. And, like, you know, that's the scale. But, I mean, it's your content. It's your story. It's your world. You can modify it however you want. Bring somebody down on the same level as Dumbledore and Voldemort and bring them into a new family of syndicates that had some sort of vendetta against these beasts and wanted to kill him or something. Because that would make Newt the protagonist to want to protect. But you know, it's just I'm just throwing ideas out there.
They keep doing this, and they're gonna keep reinforcing that idea that purebloods are like the all powerful. So like, because you're a Dumbledore, you're stronger than everyone else. Is that what you're saying? Because you're Lestrange, you're gonna be stronger than everyone else. That was I did that name drop. I would have wished Grindelwald had done something like, your parentage or your heritage doesn't matter. What matters is you're with me now, and I'm your family, and you can trust me.
And he just be a powerful guy. Like, you don't have to have, you know, a great lineage to be a good wizard. Like, you just be a good wizard. Like, But that's just my personal grievance. Other than that, honestly, I didn't really have any big ones. Because y'all heard me when he said Dumbledore. I said, really?
Yeah.
I sat in a theater and I was like, okay, I know there's only 3 Dumbledores that we know about.
Yeah, like the 3 siblings.
Albus, Aberforth, and Ariana. I was like, where is this Aurelius? Who is this? What?
Like, where did you come from? Why weren't you like, in any of the 7 books and 8
movies? That was legit the first time I was like, okay, JK, you're doing too much. Like,
she is reaching. Like, and
I was
she
like,
didn't even
that's
stretch
a major
first.
Reaching. Like, it didn't even make sense to me.
She got to do yoga before she makes that kind of reach, because that was intense.
That was super intense. I feel like it's a lie, ultimately, from Grindelwald.
Maybe. But then why would the Phoenix be there?
Because, why would the Phoenix be there?
Yeah, because it's like, that's the whole reason we believe it, is because of the Phoenix. And
did the Phoenix come to him, though?
It was already there.
It was a little Phoenix baby.
But it was already there.
No,
did it fly in?
He was feeding the Phoenix baby.
Who was feeding it?
Credence was feeding it in another scene, and Nagini walked in.
Oh yeah,
and she was like,
"Oh,
what
I
you
missed
doing?"
that one.
And he was like,
because I thought it was just a regular bird.
Yeah, I thought it was a little crusty ass bird. There's so many birds in this movie. There was a dead little raven.
Something got out of Newt's case.
Yeah. I think that's why we're meant to believe that it's true, was because of that Phoenix, and we're meant to believe that the Phoenix is Fox, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like,
because it's the only Phoenix we've ever seen.
So maybe it'll come to Albus later in the franchise.
Dumbledore's probably gonna have to kill him, and he's gonna
have to bird like spawns like, why am I here? Who is this? Where's Dumbledore?
I don't know, like the whole Aurelius Dumbledore reveal.
Yeah,
I was like, this is just, it's weird. I don't know how they're gonna resolve it. Mm-hmm. And because they're movies and they're not, I think it is, because they're movies really and they're not like actual books. We don't really know where it's going.
Yeah.
So it's like, how are they going to do this?
You think he's lying? Oh my god, that would be
Grindelwald?
Cool. I will come back and read.
It'll make sense if he's lying.
I don't think he's lying.
He might not be, and I don't think he is either.
I don't think he is.
Just thinking of how J.K. Rowling operates.
Because the movie has been building up to that reveal too much. Let's talk about that crypt scene, because that was the most frustrating thing in the eternity. They were talking
That
about...
was Inception.
Okay, I don't understand what we were supposed to... Because we were looking for Lestrange's brother, and then somehow she kept saying that her brother was dead, but that was her half-brother who turned out to be alive. But the truth is she killed her other half-brother who was a baby, and apparently that half-brother was supposed to be Credence, but not really, because Credence was the other baby that she swapped with. So I was
That whole montage was so draining. Like, I
went through so much.
I squinted through the whole thing.
I feel like Cardi B. How convenient was that? Wow. How convenient
was fucking that. Because for real, this entire time, they made this connection with the Lestranges.
Like, you got a
Yeah, they were like, brother, sister. I was like, okay, let me process that.
There's a whole baby
you put my
right
brother
across
in the
from your
ocean. I was like,
room.
let's
which
rewind.
brother is which? What's going on?
Drag this here, put this string here.
What if she messed up and the other baby was a girl? And the woman's like, what is this? I thought we had a boy.
Wait, yeah, isn't... She said... Oh my god.
Why are you talking about my life?
Magic. It's magic, okay?
About a penis.
I'm like, that's so convenient that they both just happen to be white boys. Like, same gender, same race, like...
And they were both so magical people.
And they were both
magical people.
I mean, that makes sense because they're...
No,
I figured there was a community of witches and wizards that stuck together when they left.
No.
That's what I'm thinking.
It didn't seem like it was a magical boat.
Because wasn't
like a regular...
Wasn't the caretaker like half...
Nobody had no spells to get off the boat.
I'm not saying it was a magical
Nobody
boat.
was like...
They let that life raft sink like a muggle.
Let me spread this water. No, they was drowning. They fell out the boat. Remember that one wave that wiped that whole boat?
It was just one wave.
It was not magical. Those were normal people.
They ain't wading in the water.
Yo, JK roll with that. It was like... Excuse me, Mom. There's a big plot hole in your story. Make her switch the baby.
Yeah, switch the baby.
They're going to the movie. They already bought it.
Pre-sales. It's Harry Potter. They love it. They're already there.
But that whole crypt scene, like...
It was so confusing.
I was saying earlier, like, it felt like an info dump. But at the same time, it was like trying to throw you off with the story. But it wasn't done in a way that was clever enough.
There was no build-up.
Yeah, that was a 2 gasp story. Like, you were supposed to gasp at the first one and then gasp at the actual correct one.
Right.
But I didn't gasp at the first one. I was literally out of breath. I was like...
It was no build-up. Like, Lita Lestrange, this entire time, she's just been in the movie as, like, you know, an interesting character that we don't know much about. But then towards the end, like 5 minutes before she reveals that whole story, it turns out she was looking for her brother and she knows that Credence is like related or something. And like, then she got really involved in the plot and then she died. So,
and plus she let the brother tell that whole story knowing the actual truth. Just
like she didn't interrupt him.
She didn't interrupt him so the audience could listen to that story.
Maybe she was trying.
I was just yelling, I killed the baby. Like, there's no other way you can get it out.
And I was kind of like, and I'm glad they revisited and showed me what her fear was when she was standing.
Yeah, I love that scene.
Because when it came up, and I was like, is she scared of sheets?
Because it came up, and I said, dang, Boggarts had the power to like turn the room blue. Like,
I know, they turned the room dark.
They turned the room blue.
Did y'all see Dumbledore's face?
He was like, oh,
he was like
shit.
this. Everyone has a fear.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm like,
all right, cancel this shit.
When they teach this,
is this some sort of angelic dementor? Like, what is this?
Do they not anticipate psychological trauma? Like, can you imagine being in that room and someone's fear is like their dad because they're being beat up and stuff?
It's like today you're going to encounter your
worst
fear.
And we don't have therapy because science isn't real. In the
Imagine somebody fear being their parent because their parent like abused them.
Yeah,
like that would be traumatic.
But like some people have some dumbass fears, like I'm afraid of a desk. Okay, don't work at it.
Afraid of the idea of working at an office.
Like same, but like it's not. That's the same as the fear of like finding out you drowned your baby brother or something. Yeah.
But I'm saying like that Boggart turned the room blue. I was like, what is that?
Everybody got dark.
Because if I was like, why is
no, that's why he paused. He was like, ooh, tall order. Hold on real quick. I ain't done nothing this big in a minute.
And I'm sitting here and I'm like, wait, so you switched the baby, your brother drowned, that's your fear? But she did that all before she went to Hogwarts. I'm like, dang, how long were you living with this before you got in this class?
For a while.
Like a year.
Nah, she gets trauma.
She had to be like 9 or 10 or something.
It must have been before she went to Hogwarts.
Yeah, who was watching the other baby?
They left.
They left their whole baby,
and they came back
and drowned it.
No. They came back to get the baby, but they left for a minute or something. Because they were trying to figure out
the
what
alarms were going off because they hit an iceberg or something. It was not the Titanic because the Titanic went.
That would have been interesting.
No, because the Titanic went from New York to London.
No, he's saying the idea if it was the Titanic.
If it was I'm saying hypothetically, if it was, like that would have been.
That would have been so stupid. Wizards caused the Titanic too, by the way.
Ice.
But what I would have loved, what I loved was the way Grindelwald was talking about World War II. And he was like, this is what's going to happen. I almost fell for Grindelwald. I was almost like, I'm enjoying it.
Like, dang, he is a smooth talker.
Let's stop these muggles from being stupid as shit and nuking the entire planet because what the fuck?
Let's nuke them first.
Avada Kedavra is environmentally friendly, okay? That's all I'm saying.
It is.
There is no way.
It is.
Thanos been made to learn. But anyway, yeah, I mean, that scene with him like showing like World War II and all that, I thought it was like really clever. At first, I was like, wait, how are they showing like the future? Because I didn't know like
fortune telling. Like,
but
that skull, his breath,
that skull, his pipe. He was smoking.
I was like, is this halitosis? What is
it? Let me tell you the future. Smokes weed, bong.
But I thought that scene was really great. I think as long as the third act was, I think it did come together a little bit, like towards the end. Like it was like a juggling act, but ultimately it was deserved, I would think.
You want to know how smooth he is though? That whole Ring of Fire was probably a conjuring. Like he had to wait for it to build up to the level of dragons flying around trying to burn down the whole shit. That did not seem like a spell to come from that. He literally made one circle and left, and they all turned to dragons. Like it just got worse progressively.
Yeah, I think it's the same kind of spell that they used, and this is gonna be nerdy, but like the same kind of spell they used in the 7th movie or the 8th movie when they're in the Room of Requirement, and Blaze created the fire that they couldn't put out because it's like magic fire. They never learned how to put it out, and this is how you put it out. You got to create a circle. You got to say finite, and then that's I think. But his fire was much cooler because it was blue.
That is done before.
What?
The finite circle thing. That was done in the 8th movie?
No, they didn't know how to stop the fire. They just left it in the room.
Oh, okay.
That's why he was like throwing his wand. Like he didn't know how to stop it. He was like, fuck, and he just threw his wand in the fire. And that's the same kind of magic. But yeah. Ooh. I really was hoping for some gay shit, which we kind of got. We kind of got some fluid exchange, some hand holding, some
very questionable blood
deep
training,
gazing into their eyes.
They kind of like held them out. I thought they were going to like do a blood pack. Like
they did. They cut their hands open.
I know, but they didn't like shake hands. They
did.
They held.
Oh, they did. They did. That was the bloody hand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Some hand holding and some very questionable.
Yeah, that's not safe, kids. Let's not do that. Get tested. Check for STDs. I'm just saying, you can't be transferring blood like that.
You can't.
Whim.
You can't.
That's
very dangerous.
But that was cute. I liked it. I didn't like that it was in the mirror of Erised.
Yeah, because Erised's supposed to show you your desires, right?
Not your past. Like I guess his desire was to be with Grindelwald.
Yeah, his desire, or maybe his desire was to get back to a point. Like they were.
Yeah, like how and they used to be.
He probably wants to be like kids with Grindelwald again.
That was probably, like, was that before or after Ariana? Because Ariana died.
Well, that was clearly before, because they were still on good terms.
But then Ariana died when they were fighting.
Right.
And he made a blood pact that they would never fight? So how did they fight when Ariana died?
I think they made the blood pact before Ariana died.
Uh-huh.
But then they broke it. But they
said you can't break a blood pact.
Something had to happen. I'm not sure.
Wait, what are y'all talking about? What happened?
So they made the blood pact, and they're pretty much saying that we can't fight. And so logic would say, if they were to fight, it's almost like the, what's it called? When you make the vow.
Oh, the unbreakable vow.
The unbreakable vow. Like, that's what I think it would be like. The unbreakable vow, where it's like, if you break this vow, then you're probably just going to die.
I feel like they would die if they tried to fight.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like they...
Or what they'd spells just like...
Maybe they would just bounce off or something. I don't know.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but...
Because they clearly fought.
Because I thought
it wasn't like a. I don't think it was like a fight.
What?
Or maybe it was a fight.
It was a fight. Ariana died.
Yeah. And
it was Grindelwald versus Aberforth versus Dumbledore, and all three of them were fighting amongst each other.
Exactly.
I don't remember how it exactly happened, but I just know that like they were fighting, and if you made a blood pact not to fight, I feel like it would have already been broken at that point, unless they made it afterwards, after Ariana died, and Dumbledore said, "We gotta chill," and then they came together, they made that blood pact, and that was the last time they saw each other, maybe. But I was kind of, I liked that they had that little gay scene, even though they didn't really say it explicitly, but we all know it, honey. But
everybody.
Not everybody. They don't.
J.K. Rowling really gonna make a move?
I was waiting for them to kiss.
Our theater was like, y'all see something?
They leaned in close.
If they kissed, I would have forgave all her flaws.
I would have.
That bad. Just off of one kiss.
Yes.
Because we need gay exposure.
Yeah.
People need to get hip out here.
People are going to be like, why are they holding hands? That's so gay. Oh, they're doing a blood pact. Okay, it's not as gay anymore. It's like, okay, gosh.
I mean, frat guys, well, probably do it. I don't know.
Ew.
I'm just saying, like, little kids do blood packs all the time.
I wish Dumbledore's Mirror of Erised had been something different because, well, maybe it changed over time. Maybe he has a different vision.
Did we already know what his Mirror of Erised was? I could have sworn
always
that
thought
was
it was his
there.
Family, like his being with Ariana.
Well, I know Harry's was his family.
Yeah.
And I guess
we never knew.
I don't know. I feel like she did touch on that at one point, but maybe we just don't know.
On her Twitter.
Or we know now, at least.
Yeah.
No, not Twitter. It was way before Twitter.
Oh, in the books themselves?
Yeah, like I thought
I don't think so. He just said wool socks, but we all know that's a lie.
How old are you?
What do you mean?
That's your desires to have wool socks. I can't.
He likes knitting. He likes knitting patterns.
I guess.
I don't know.
So we touched on all that stuff. So now, how do we feel going forward with the franchise? Apparently, we still have 3 more movies to go.
Jeez.
Honestly, I'm here for the fights and the animals. That's it.
The fights were pretty good. I'd say, yeah, the CGI is getting good.
I am looking forward to a couple of things. Like the Queenie situation. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
A lot of people turned themselves over. I think they got into that fire.
They turned themselves over?
A few people, yeah.
Queenie.
I think it was very unique how they did it, too. Because a lot of them were either fighting it, or others were like, I can't do this, I might as well do it.
Yeah.
And then there were some that were agreeing with it. I really do think Queenie's transition over was handled really well.
It was sad. I was actually sad.
It was very sad.
Especially when she screamed, she was like, come with me. Like, he can't. Yeah.
But I'm like, girl, he can't go with you because number one, he's a whole nomad. Or nomad or muggle. Number 2, he's probably going to get burnt by the fire. If he didn't get burned by the fire, Grindelwald would just figure out he's a nomad and he would just burn him right there. Like, you would be stuck.
No, because Grindelwald was like, I don't kill nomads senselessly.
So you think if nomads joined his cause, he would leave him alone?
No. He would allow the other pure blood people to kill him. But I don't think Grindelwald directly would kill him because he wanted to put out that image. We're not the violent ones; they are. He's
a heavy manipulator.
Yeah, yeah.
But Queenie going in, he called her crazy.
Yeah, that broke me a little bit.
It didn't. She was being crazy.
It broke me.
Could you put a whole love
She was being crazy.
Yeah,
she was being crazy.
That was rapey. Like that was.
No, it was very rapey. It's very not okay.
That's not consensual.
I was like, is this normal in the magic world? Can you stop?
Yeah, that's how Voldemort came to be. His mom put a love potion. His mom put a love potion on a Muggle, and that's how Voldemort was born.
Yeah.
And that's why he doesn't know love, because he was conceived under a love potion. That's what Queenie was going for. Damn, Queenie.
She wanted Voldemort?
She just wanted her guy.
No, she's not. She's not. Can you imagine? Jacob's real name is Tom Riddle. Did you know that? LOL. And he's actually British. And he's Voldemort's dad.
Speaking of Voldemort, I'm going to just drop it right here. Not saying it's going to happen. Not saying anything if this is true.
Gonna happen.
But before Credence was revealed to be Dumbledore, quote unquote, I said it would have been interesting if he was part of the Riddle bloodline.
But Riddles are Muggles.
Are all of them Muggles from the past?
Yeah.
Because you can have Muggles from like wizarding families.
Yeah,
you just
but
don't know.
Thought they said that he came from a powerful lineage.
Yeah, but then
and Riddles are just straight up Muggles. Like,
But then you could have like trickled a little blood down or whatever. I don't know.
J.K. Rowling, she can modify whatever she wants.
She can do whatever she wants. She's gonna do it anyway.
She switched 2 whole babies. Anything is canon.
Oh,
She switched 2 whole babies, 2 whole babies that were the same sex and race, and they both had magical abilities. Anything is free game.
For the plot.
Anything is free game. But
and they were right across the hall from each other too.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
for the plot, Ex Machina. Also, him getting the blood pack thing was an Ex Machina as well.
What? Oh, the Niffler getting the blood pack. Yeah, I saw it.
He was not on that. He was not on him at all.
It was only an Ex Machina in the sense of like, I don't know how Grindelwald didn't feel the Niffler going over his leg.
We didn't even see it.
I saw the Niffler.
You saw it climbing over someone's foot.
Yeah,
that was Grindelwald because he was knelt down.
Okay, but we still didn't see it grabbing.
Yeah, he was in the people.
He went to the girl that fell. And
that
the
died.
Niffler was.
She didn't fall. She died.
Well, fell, died. Like however you look at it, it's synonymous.
He went falling, dying, same.
He went over to her. He was bent down.
Yeah.
And the Niffler came over and was crawling over his leg. So I was like, okay, he's gonna grab like something. Like,
I saw that coming as soon as they showed it on his lapel. I was like, this stupid Niffler is gonna pop out.
Why is he got on his like? I have it on my heart, so I couldn't remember. Are they gonna try to break it? Why did he want it so bad?
He's gonna try to break it so that he can fight him. Like Dumbledore can fight him without the blood oath.
First of all,
Grindelwald was keeping it so he didn't have to fight Dumbledore.
Yeah.
And Dumbledore wants it so he can break it so he can fight him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably gonna die if they fight.
and we know who lives and we know who dies.
Obviously.
Yeah. So like,
because you want to keep revisiting content. Maybe if you made a whole new villain, we wouldn't have that spoiled.
Also, I know
it's gonna be a great fight though.
Maybe. I mean, the fight with Lestrange and Grindelwald, she just threw like 2 spells and she was like, "Run away before I die," and then she died. And I was like, "Oh, that's sad."
Yeah, I hate like fights like that. Remember when all his people left and he was the last one? I was like, "Oh my god,
it's about to go down."
Magic fight, and he makes a circle.
And it's like, okay,
of self.
It would have been so cool to see him fighting against like 10 different R's at the same time and killing them.
If you watch an anime, just one J.K. Rowling.
First of all,
J.K. Rowling, if you found some way to make it to our Rinky Dink podcast,
let's send it to
I need you to go watch.
Can't even think of
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. What was the purpose of that alchemist? We didn't mention him.
Oh, Nicholas Flamel?
Yeah.
He was there.
He was just there for an Easter egg.
Because he's French and
also,
they're in Paris, France.
Speaking of Easter eggs, how's McGonagall in this movie?
Oh, right. Inconsistencies.
This movie takes place in 1927, but McGonagall wasn't born until 1935.
But she's a whole teacher in Hogwarts.
But she's a whole teacher. And you were like, that could be her mother. And I'm like, no, because if Dumbledore's working at Hogwarts and McGonagall's there, it's Minerva. Like,
but like her mother could have been a teacher, and then
her mother wasn't born until like 1917.
So even her mother would have been too young to work at Hogwarts.
Her mother would have been way too young.
Inconsistency. J.K. Rowling fixed this. Also, at the beginning of the movie, they said Magical Congress. No, they didn't even say. They said the Ministry Ministry of Magic. And I'm like, what happened to the Magical Congress of the United States of America? MACUSA.
Right.
I loved that name, and now everybody's a ministry now. He said, is the French ministry gonna do this? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't know. Ask the British ministry. What about the American ministry?
This is an act of happening when you make one movie just for sake of spin-off and find out you want to make it into a 5-series blockbuster. And then you just start...
There were a good bit of inconsistencies. And I'm like, JK, like how? Like, you wrote one of the most successful young adult franchises of all time.
It was so unnecessary to have McGonagall in there in the first place.
I don't think it was unnecessary. It would have made sense if she was actually born around that time.
Yeah.
But now she's gonna
we didn't need to have her there. It could have just been an anonymous teacher or some other teacher we've never heard of before.
It could have been.
And she was in Newt's flashback too, so she was Newt's teacher, so she's even...
I feel like they're going to want to use her in the future movies.
I guess.
If we get a name drop of her, then she'll probably come back around.
That makes her old. Like, old as Dumbledore. And I thought
but the wizards
Dumbledore was magic because he,
Wizards don't really age like that once they get super old. Because Dumbledore was like
Nicholas Flamel aged like that.
Dumbledore was like 130-something in the first... In the first movie, he was already like up there.
Nicholas Flamel was such an unnecessary addition.
Every time I wake up, I break my arms.
Every
time I break water, I break my legs.
And he had the Sorcerer's Stone locked behind some rinky-dink safe. Like, Ooh, let's shove that aside. LOL. Ooh, look at this glow. Whatever. Tee. No, I think that was stupid. He looked weird because I think it was like a younger actor that they just put makeup on.
I thought he was gonna, like, I would think it would have been cool if he had handled the whole dragon things himself.
Yeah.
Because she making him seem like he this major piece of the prophecy, but he just tell everybody, get in the circle.
Get in the circle.
Put your watch in the ground. Like if he did
some Gandalf
some sprinkle in the hand.
Shall not pass.
Sprinkle on him, clap, clap. Boom. It's like, come on. You were just really like an extra person for the circle.
Yeah.
And like,
that was a
they're
stupid
letting
addition.
my hype die so hard because I was literally, when he came, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about him. He about to do something amazing because he's an alchemist. Get in the circle, do what I do. Like, that's literally all he did. He put his wand in the ground and that was a wrap, and they were just spinning.
And everybody just did that. And
that wasn't pleasing to me. It was beautiful. It was graphically okay. It
was okay. My hype's not dying for the franchise only because I just like the world building. I like the lore. I want to see where it goes.
I do too, but like make your
I don't even
better.
Yeah, they could improve on that. But
you can do so much wizardry. So much.
I mean, they do so much already. Like,
do they?
As far as like non-fighting scenes.
Yeah.
But even in the Harry Potter movies, like their fights weren't that.
I wonder if that's because they're going towards more the kids route and they're trying to make it too. I mean, they cracking people's necks and inferencing on killing.
They're not
babies.
going towards the kids route. I mean, did you see the way they were carrying Grindelwald?
The exorcism of
that was the most unnecessary.
I said, dang, they got this man twisted all kinds of ways. Right hand on the green, left foot on the blue,
right foot on my wand.
Like they had this man twisted so many ways. I'm like, dang, y'all gotta restrain him like that?
Yes, apparently.
Yes, he's strong. He called the lightning.
He'd already broken free at that point.
And it wasn't even him.
They did all that and it wasn't even him.
It wasn't even him.
Stupid. Dummy. Like, y'all ain't got ways to check to see if someone took some polyjuice potion? Apparently not.
Anybody got any closing thoughts? I feel like we covered
overall, good concept. I like Newt. Use him more.
What would you rate it?
B minus.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
B minus. I don't think it deserves a C because the universe is still good.
Yeah.
It's still a good universe. And it still has a lot of good content. Characters are lovable. Just fucking Lita. Come on. Look at her. Like,
I can't. She's dead now.
Thanks.
All we got left is Jacob.
Okay.
Ashes to ashes.
And I mean, B minus, I think is appropriate because of that last personal grievance. Like, I just really did not like it. You can do so much with your content, JK. I'm telling you, you can do so much. I could probably create a mock story for you right now. Tell me when you want it. You'll probably use it.
Hit me up. Just
those are my closing thoughts. So my grade is a B minus. Sauce it up, cook it, serve it. I like that.
It was an okay meal. You'll consider getting it again? I don't know. It's not like your go-to when you go to the restaurant.
I gotta be in the mood for it. Well, no. This is a cuisine. I would get this again. I do like the Magic Universe. I like the Wizardry. I like Harry Potter. It's not my main space of nerdism, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching it, but I can't, like, recall the stuff that y'all are recalling. Like, I had to sit back and, like, I don't remember all that. But I'm like, with my stuff that I really like, I remember stuff like way back when. Like, I can remember direct levels from like Crash Bandicoot or something like that. But you know, I do love the Harry Potter universe. Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful. I love the wizardry. I want a wand. And I said I wanted to do magic. I wanted to be a wizard like 7 times throughout the movie. Oh my God, I want to do that. But B minus. Do better with the endings and do better with Newt. You need to use Newt. Because that's who I want to... That's really all I'm really interested in.
He's the main character.
He's like Finn.
No, I feel like they're handling Newt better than Finn.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah, but it's
definitely.
Still the same concept.
Same concept, better execution. Because even then, like, Newt has more interesting qualities about it.
Yeah.
I'll probably keep it the same. I would say I would give this movie a B. I don't think I had too many issues where it's a B minus in my eyes. I still enjoyed it. I was entertained by it. I'm curious to see where they end up going for the future. It's definitely a buy once it comes on like DVD and stuff, or digital, however you get your stuff. It's not bad. I think it's a good sequel to the first one. And with the stuff that they did cover, there was a lot that I enjoyed out of it that outweighed all my negatives.
Yeah.
So
I'd give it a B minus. I think it was a great sequel. It was better than the first. enjoyed a bit of character development here and there, but it needs to be more cohesive with what they're trying to do with Newt and why make him the main character and then trying to connect it to the overall plot. I don't like that it is just leaning so heavily on Grindelwald versus Dumbledore, because I would have just liked to see a spin-off that's really just a spin-off, not a prequel.
I thought they would have waited till later in the future franchise.
Yeah, they said, nah, you're getting it now. Yeah, but I liked it. B-. Beautiful Hogwarts robes.
Nice scenery too.
Beautiful
gowns. Nice gowns.
I want one of those Hogwarts robes. They look amazing. They were more colorful. But yeah, B-. Please keep Newt as the main character and
make him take his shirt off too.
Stop it.
I was waiting.
Oh no, he's one of them annoying guys where you like go through the party, the trouble. Like you're at a party, like, oops, oh my god, let me get you a towel. You want to take that off so I can put it in the dryer? No. I'm good. All right, nigga.
Yeah, who was his little helper? We never even.
Who was that?
I don't know.
Just some girl that's thirsting after him, and
I don't even know.
The disrespect. She didn't even.
Why
get
was
like
she there?
Taking care of the creatures. I don't know.
She's Voldemort.
She's doing it better. She's Voldemort. She's Voldemort's mom.
Gotta connect these dots, but yeah.
And she's part Nigerian, so.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're looking forward to the next movie in the Fantastic Beasts franchise. I'm Saya. You can find me at SayaJ_Andre on Twitter.
I'm Oscar. You can find me on Twitter at OPIMI1.
I'm Jamal. You can find me on J_Molly Mall on Twitter or whatever.
Yep. You can also find our podcast on a lot of platforms, wherever you listen to your podcast. So iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Blueberry. We're also looking to get the podcast on other platforms. If you listen on a platform that allows you to like and comment, be sure to do that. That definitely helps us go in a direction we think is best for the listening audience. And also subscribe and share if you enjoy the content and be on the lookout for more. And so with that, anybody have anything to say before we go?
Booties and bitches.
Oh, have a good
cut.